Welcome into Dashtown, a podcast about the businesses built by and for the people of Fuquay Varina. And with me today, I have Akilah Waldrond, CPA. Welcome in.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. Good to have you. So this year has been an interesting tax year. I'm sure as a CPA, you've been busy with the delays and everything that's gone on where they keep kind of moving deadlines around. And
yeah, it didn't feel like it was going to end.
Yeah.
And it's right around the corner.
Well, for the average person, I think that we had a little bit of a reprieve because they said, okay, well, taxes aren't due April 15th. Now they're due July 15th. Mm-hmm. On your side, the professional who is in charge of filing people's taxes, that might have been more hectic than less.
Yeah, it was a little more hectic and confusing because at the last minute, things were extended, especially on the state side, and people were confused. And, states don't always follow federal.
Right.
So with regard to North Carolina, people were still penalized with interest for failure to paying any taxes that weren't paid by April the 15th.
Yeah.
So it just caused a lot of confusion and headache for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you handling more individuals' taxes or business taxes? Do you do a mix of both?
I do a mix of both because a lot of individuals, believe it or not, end up having a small business tax return attached to their individual returns.
Okay.
So it's really a mixture of both. And to be honest with you, it's a lot of individuals and Schedule Cs, which are sole proprietorship, single member LLCs, and things like that.
These are people that have some 1099 income
Correct.
Or side gigs or side,
Yes.
which is so common these days.
Yes.
A lot of like itemized deductions, even though maybe not as common as it used to be with the standard deduction so high, right?
It's right. And a lot of people get itemized deductions mixed up with small business deductions, two different things. And to make matters worse, people that were in the sales industry got hit hard because they're used to claiming something called Form 2106 for their mileage and unreimbursed business expenses. Well, that went away in 2018, and they were hit hard. So there's a difference between the itemized, because that would go on the itemized deductions, and a small business tax return, which goes on Schedule C.
Okay. Well, we dove right in here, but no, that's great. But let's back up. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your business and how long you've been in, kind of your history.
Okay. So my history, I'm originally from New York, born and raised in Washington.
I did not hear that accent at all.
I know. I've been down here for 21 years.
It doesn't go away.
When I moved down here in the year 2000, I was in sales. Okay. So I had a really good sales background. I was number one in the Staten Island region when I moved down here. In 2003, though, I moved into the finance industry. And I really didn't know whether I wanted to be a financial advisor or a CPA. So I actually did the eeny, meeny, miny, mo game. Mm-hmm. And I decided to do CPA. So since 2003, I started my small business called Absolute Bookkeeping Business. It was helping small businesses and individuals that wanted to do payroll and things like that. Fast forward, I earned my master's degree, my bachelor's. I passed the CPA exam in 2013. I earned my master's in 2015, and I became CPA licensed in 2016. But I've been doing sort of this type of thing since 2003.
I love it when the professional still has a thirst for knowledge and to continue bettering themselves and improving.
Absolutely. No other way.
Unfortunately, I think it's not a common characteristic. A lot of professionals get to a level where, okay, I know my business, I'm successful, and now I can just coast. And I don't think that in the business world it's really like that. And a lot of times that's going to end poorly.
Especially in my industry.
Yeah.
You have to keep up with it. Tax laws change constantly.
Yep.
And as everybody knows with COVID, there were a lot of tax things that was just so confusing. And but I try to stay up with it.
Yeah. And well, I guess several changes this year, because January 1st, the Secure Act went into effect, which changed some rules about 401k or IRA distributions, required minimum distributions, and then how those IRAs can pass to next generation beneficiaries. And so that proves that rules can change at any point in time.
Exactly.
And then with COVID, the CARES Act came out and it changed all the tax filing deadlines.
What a headache.
Yeah, and you've got to keep up with all this stuff.
Yeah, because they changed it and then they changed it again and then it got changed again. And so we're still also waiting for Congress to hopefully make some positive changes, because the PPP loan, let me just talk about that for a minute.
Sure.
Because the PPP loan, that was meant to be tax-free for small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
There were some abuses with the large industries and the large businesses that took advantage of the PPP.
Yep.
But the small businesses are going to be hurt if the Congress doesn't make a change to make it not taxable. Because the bottom line is this: the PPP was supposed to be used for certain things, predominantly payroll expenses.
For 50 or fewer employee businesses.
Correct.
Yep.
And if those small businesses claim those business deductions, the IRS is saying, no, it's not a business deduction. So essentially we have to add that back into the bottom line, which causes taxable income to increase, effectively making the PPP loan taxable. So. And
how the small businesses have applied for forgiveness for that loan, that timeline and deadline has been ever evolving. They haven't really defined much of anything.
We're just like waiting. I say we because I've also taken advantage of it.
Well, you've got to help people handle the books for their end, and then you as a business owner
do my own.
Yeah, sure.
So we're sitting at the edge of our seat trying to wait, and it's like, yeah.
And I don't think any kind of final ruling on the forgiveness has even happened yet.
We're still waiting on the banks.
Is this a traditional loan, or is this going to be something that's forgiven? Kind of a stimulus type of thing, as I think it was intended.
Mm-hmm.
And so, day to day, are you helping people with payroll more, or doing individual tax returns? During one kind of time of the year, April 15th, that's when most people think about taxes, or is it an ongoing? Hey, I've got a biweekly, monthly kind of routine because I'm helping all these businesses with their payroll expenses and stuff.
Well, we do it all because I've grown my business to where I have dedicated employees that will do the bookkeeping. I have dedicated employees that will do the payroll. And then I also have dedicated employees that will assist with the tax preparation side of things. But I do, we do it all, but I do recommend businesses, business owners to sit down with their CPA at least 2 or 3 times a year, because you don't want to wait until April 15th to find out that you're going to have a tax bill.
Right.
We like to strategize, and we like to I'm not a certified financial advisor, but we like to sit with, I send my clients to their certified financial advisor to do some of the tax planning that is essential throughout the year to help you keep more of the money that you earn.
Can I talk about that for a moment? Because I think that's an excellent point. It's something that I, as the financial advisor, really value that relationship for my clients. If your team of professionals is not communicating and coordinating on your behalf, you're not getting the most out of the tax or the financial side.
It's going to be chaotic, and it can hurt you. You really want your professionals to be able to work together on your behalf.
Now, and no slight to you or your profession, but I find that CPAs and accountants, a lot of times, they're more historic in nature, in their mindset, focusing on the money you earned last year and how can we save you the most. Whereas you mentioned tax planning and looking forward, sometimes saving as much as you can last year doesn't mean saving as much as you can over the course of your lifetime.
I've been blessed to get my certified professional education information from someone that worked at the IRS for at least 30 years.
Okay.
And he was the one that kind of drummed it into my head. Listen, stop trying to put out fires. You want to be, you want to be proactive. You want to help them, not just
prevent fires in the future.
Correct.
Yeah.
Fire prevention.
Yeah.
That's exactly what his motto was. And I really took that to heart because I want to help people.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, the way that, I look at planning in the financial world as a financial advisor, not certified tax professional, we always have that standard language. You must consult your tax professional before. I figure when you're making a financial recommendation, there's some tax implications involved.
Yes.
I mean, you are making, financial recommendations, but you're making tax recommendations as well.
Absolutely. And I make sure, and I let my clients know, listen, I am not a certified financial advisor, but here's what I recommend. And you need to sit with your financial advisor, because this is going to help you keep more of the money that you earn for your future purposes. So.
Well, how have you liked being settling here in Fuquay and growing your business here in Fuquay Varina?
It's been fun and amazing. Like I said, I've been here for 20 years, and I've actually got to see it grow. And believe it or not, and you probably have experienced this too.
Yep.
A lot of New Yorkers, there's a lot of people coming from California, the Midwest, coming here to North Carolina.
Sure.
And it's so fun to see it grow and to see the diversity happen.
Yeah. Well, Cary and Apex have been listed on those lists of best cities to live last a decade plus. And I feel like Fuquay is that quiet secret that has been right next door.
I don't know if it's secret anymore.
No, they're starting to find us.
Exactly.
It's the more affordable side of Apex and Holly Springs now, basically. But growing quick. And,
yes.
It's good for business owners around here, I think.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap your fingers and flash forward 3 or 5 years. Where do you see your business? Are you just growing and continuing kind of doing what you're doing?
Probably will have, I don't know, another location. The office that I'm in actually.
Purfoy and Honeycutt, right?
Yes.
Right on the corner there. There's kind of the dance studios next door with all the young ladies out there practicing. That's where you're at, right behind them, right?
We're right next door to them. And
okay.
We are almost filling up our suite, and our suite is actually big. So we'll see. It's about 9 of us right now, and I have another professional she's an EA. She's also assisting me. So we will see. I don't know, 3 years. We're just growing.
Fantastic. EA, enrolled agent, right?
Yes.
That's the person that sort of handles the problem issues sometimes, right?
Well, yeah.
If my understanding is correct.
Yeah, the EA, she can almost do what the CPA does, but she's more tax focused versus me. I can actually do more than just tax. I can certify. I can help people. If they have a license that they have to get renewed as a contractor, I can actually certify and provide an audit or a review. And when I say audit and review, that's actually technical language that a CPA can do. No one else can do that. So I can do a little bit more.
Okay. So you're a member of the Fuquay Chamber of Commerce, I believe, and there's a lot of other business owners, obviously. That's what the Chamber of Commerce is all about. How has that networking opportunity helped to foster relationships that have helped to grow your business?
Well, it's helped because I have a relationship with them, and whenever someone comes into town and they're looking for things, they always recommend an accountant because accountants are necessary for business.
Yeah.
And so that relationship with them, they know me, and they like me, and so that just makes it even all the more better to have a relationship with them.
Yeah, no, I think that the comment that accountants and tax professionals are necessary for business, you can be a fantastic business owner and screw it up because you're not handling your books the right way.
Absolutely.
You take that heavy lifting off of the business owners and let them focus on their business.
Absolutely. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So again, Akilah Waldrond CPA, AKilahWaldrondCPA.com is the website.
Yes.
How else can people get in touch?
You can find me on Facebook.
Okay.
You just put in my name, Akilah Waldrond, and I have 2 profiles. I have my business and I have my personal. You can find me there. You can find me on LinkedIn. And that's pretty much everywhere. You can probably find me on Instagram, but I don't really use it that much.
Yeah, I'm not big on that one yet either. And I hear more and more that, it can be a good tool for business. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not on enough. All those social media tools, there's so many of them now.
I know.
I feel old because I'm still stuck on my one, right? Hey, I didn't ask you. As far as headaches in your business, what do you, if you could, again, kind of snap your fingers and fix something about either your individual business or your profession at large? You have any problems or headaches that?
I think the headache for our industry is that CPAs are unresponsive. So I really, really, really try my best to make sure that we answer the phone, and cross my fingers. Thank God so far that has not been a complaint, but we really do try our best to make sure that we answer phone calls, answer emails, because we don't want you worrying, because we know that taxes worry people. They come into my office and they're so afraid and anxious, but we try our very best to calm down that anxiety and let you know that we will take care of it. So the headache is being unresponsive, and so far we have not been that, and
No, that's a big
that's
one.
a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've experienced that with like doctors' offices, and that's always you've got something that's worrying you already.
Yes.
And then you count on a professional to help you with that issue, and you're not getting the feedback or the answers. Absolutely.
Yes.
And likewise, I think in the financial industry as well, and people put a lot of trust in their financial professional, and then they don't get the response or they don't get the proactive communication. And that's a problem. Our motto is, or our goal is to try to return calls within a business day, right? I'm not going to promise everybody that I'm going to personally answer every call that comes in as it comes in, but I will get you an answer within 24, 48 hours. And
it becomes extra challenging during the tax season, and people tend to be understanding. But, you know, I definitely, if during the tax season, you will get a response from me. It might take a day or two, but definitely a phone call. We have people that will answer the phone.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, hey, it's been great having you in for Dashtown.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You know, I'd love to have you back at some point in time. Maybe we can dive a little bit deeper into specific issues that you're seeing or problems, and talk a little bit more.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right. Well, Akilah Waldrond, CPA, AKilahWaldrondCPA.com, or go online, Facebook, great place to be in touch.
Yes.
Appreciate having you on Dashtown.
Thank you, Peter.